the cap seller and the monkeys. Once there lived a very poor cap seller in a village. Making and selling caps were his main occupation. He fully depended on this business for a living. It was not in his own place where he conducted his business, but in distant and remote villages and towns, and always he travelled to those places in purpose of selling his caps. His name was Dhamu. One day, Dhamu set out for a journey to a distant town. He had to tide over a dense forest on the way. When it was soon, at noon, he reached the forest. He was so tired that he wanted to take some rest somewhere in the forest and to have his lunch. He found a large tree standing near, spreading its branches wide apart, covering a large tree area with its shade. Dhamu walked to that tree and sat under the shade of it. He opened his bag and took out his lunch parcel. He ate and drank and leaned against the trunk of the tree. It was blowing warm and cold wind. He was cast over by the ardent wind and was dozed off. There were a lot of monkeys in the surroundings. They all were very mischievous and quarrelsome. They neared the tree where Dhamu was sleeping, and their curiosity was aroused by seeing the large basket which was placed near him. They rummaged all the contents of the basket out and got hold of the caps. Hearing the din which was made by the quarrelsome monkeys, Dhamu woke up and was surprised to see the monkeys holding his caps. He stood up and ran to the monkeys to intimidate them. But as soon as he reached them, they all jumped away and climbed up a nearest tree. Dhamu beseeched the monkeys to throw down his caps. He implored and coaxed the monkeys. At last, he cajoled them, but nothing was fruitful. Once Dhamu had heard that the monkeys would imitate the actions of the humans showed. The only cap that was left with him was on his head. He put off the cap from his head and held it forward, stretching his hand. Seeing this action, the monkeys also did the same. Dhamu pretended to wear the cap on his head. The monkeys too did the same. At last, Dhamu threw the cap a little away from him. The monkeys imitated him, and so all the caps fell onto the ground. Howling loudly and waving hands fervently to sideways in view of threatening the monkeys, Dhamu ran to the caps and picked them all. Then saying thanks to the monkeys, he carried the basket on his head and moved away from there as fast as possible.